Hello Aries, and welcome to your August 2019 general read. I'm Jade with yesYesYes, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are brand new, and thank you so much for your patience. I am behind this month for sure. I performed during the summer, so I had to opened and closed a show. I've been catching up on readings, and so thank you so much for your patience here. If you are brand new, let me just tell you how the general works. These are cards that I pulled at the beginning of the year, the 2019 spreads, and that link is also is in the box below, as well as my website info, yesYesYes.life, if you're interested in getting a personal read with me. This is for Sun, Moon, and Rising Aries. And let's see what else. I think that's about it. Oh, thanks for all of your likes and your shares and your subscribes. I love it so much. Love being here in the community with you. Thank you for all of your support, and your feedback is really appreciated. So let's get started. For your overall from the Mystical Shaman Oracle card, you have the Sun. This is your energy in that it's fiery, right? This is, part of your action, your passion. This is you being kind of on top of the world. We're revolving around you this year. I feel like Aries is kind of leading the tribe, leading the rest of us this year. You might have a clearer sense of what to do next before everyone else. You might have friends who say, oh my gosh, like you're so on it this year. And I'm feeling like that's what's going on, is that you just have this innate knowing and power and energy behind and just in alignment, really. So great energy for you. Now specifically for this month, we have the Fool card. This is a tricky card in the Line Strider deck because it's very sparse, and it's pretty open as well. So the Fool is new beginnings. Now be aware that it could be that you're jumping into something new in a very naive way. That's the warning with that card, is that there could be naivete, that's how you say it, in whatever this new thing is, that you're innocent and you're excited and it's a whole new thing. And it's specifically perhaps about either your sensuality, your connection to legacy. So this is a very interesting card in the Lenormand deck. It's the Lilies. The Lilies are about legacy, but also can be like sensuality and creating something that is long-lasting, okay? So this could be a new sensual, long-lasting, you could just start a new like yoga practice, and sensual is not necessarily sexual. I hope you understand what I mean there. Something where it's, you feel it more. So that's what I mean, like it could be a yoga practice. It could be that, you're learning a new way of cooking that is really delightful. You really enjoy using different spices. So it's something along those lines, but just be aware if it is like a new yoga practice that you need to stretch, you need to stretch properly before you do those crazy movements, that there's a warning with, the naivete. It might just take some time in order to build this new way of being, okay? All right, let's see. We're gonna do the past, present, future spread with the Klimt Tarot. And everything has been pre-shuffled, and now I'm just curious okay, we're flopping out already. For Aries, I feel like that one wanted to come out as well. Well, Aries in the past, we've already got cards telling me. We had the One of Cups, that's a funny way of saying it, the Ace of Cups in the past, but it came out in the reverse. So some type of emotional, desirous, a fulfilling hope didn't quite pan out. There were aspects of it, but it just didn't quite work itself out. And maybe it's just on hold, but that's what I'm feeling from the past here. We have the Empress, so it could be specifically working with a Libra or a Taurus energy, or just someone there's a sensual nature here. The Empress, again, lots of sensuality. This Empress energy, it could have been your energy, in fact, but this is about receiving. The Empress manifests others to give to her. So that is her power, is that she knows how to sit back and wait until it shows up for her. And even though the Ace of Cups is here, I mean, that energy is there. It could have been, you know, someone had waited too much, or you were waiting and it wasn't quite the right thing. Perhaps it was just, you know, very plain and simple. It was with someone who was much more interested in receiving than giving. And so it just wasn't quite working out. The Eight of Swords is also here. This is the one that kind of wanted to come out, and I think it's just put you in your mind a little bit. It got you thinking about what's really going on. Maybe this situation just wasn't quite, it was very close, but wasn't quite it for you. And I think you're going on and on in your head a little bit about it. Now, I just had some interesting reading with Pisces. It was very intense. So if you have an issue or connection with a Pisces, you're sharing some energy here with them, just so that you know. But it seems like there is just some type of internal process that's going on with a not an even way of receiving and giving from the past. Now let's see what's going on for you in the present energies for Aries. Present energies for Aries, please. Present energies for Aries. Let's see what's coming up here. Sometimes they want to come out. I've gotten a lot, like the stories from the past are coming up. We got two. May I have any more cards for Aries in the... Okay. All right. So we started with the Hermit in the reverse, Virgo energy, wanting to come out, kind of like being within your head. Now the Hermit is also like a reluctant leader. And I find that the most fascinating description of this card, because people see the Hermit pull back and are curious about what is going on in the Hermit's mind. What, you know, how does the Hermit gain power by pulling back? So with it in the reverse, your power isn't coming back out, okay? It's time to enliven yourself, to find the youthfulness back within you. I feel like you've had time to reflect, and it's probably started with that Eight of Swords. So this energy of reflection, of going within, of holding back, it seems like it's time to come out. You might have also specifically held back in this relationship that didn't work out, or in this emotional fulfillment that, you know, there was an emotional promise that was not fulfilled in the past. And so your response to that could have been to withhold. You might have withheld in it yourself. So you'll have to decide which one that works out for. You've got Queen of Pentacles here in the upright. This is right in the center of your reading. There's something very stable here. I like that the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress are right there next to each other. Again, this is Taurus energy quite a bit, but this is stable, loving, nurturing, maternal energy. This could be what you really need to give to yourself right now as you're healing, perhaps from this past situation. Perhaps there was a creation of this past situation in order to remind you to heal or to nurture yourself. The Queen of Pentacles is also very money-minded. Look, she's got the coin right there as a halo right behind her head. So you're practically minded, okay? Thinking about money, thinking about health, thinking about well-being and how to provide for yourself, maybe, you know, for your close family, that type of thing. That's really where your focus is right now. It's the center of your reading. And then we also had the Ten of Cups in the reverse. There seems to not be the emotional connection here, even though the desire is here, even though the cards are on the table. Now, this is what I always say. If the cards are on the table, you have the power, you have the decision or the choice to flip it around any way that you want. So if you want the Ten of Cups, if you want to feel good emotionally, if you want to celebrate with others in your life, you can flip that very easily. I'm going to clarify a little bit on it, but just know that that energy is here, even though it may not feel quite right now. And that's what I'm feeling a lot, is that, you know, we are all wanting to feel good, but there's also wanting to celebrate, because it's, you know, the last bit of summer here in North America. There's the desire to connect and to feel good and to be light and free and have some fun, but there's just a little something underneath that's not quite healed, that doesn't feel satisfied and doesn't feel free enough to express oneself in that manner. So there's just something underneath the surface. That Hermit card in the reverse is really kind of turning it. But again, you can, I mean, this is coming out, so come out. Come out, Aries. Let's see what's going on in your near future for Aries. And the near future, I mean, because I'm getting these out so late, I'm feeling like it's just a couple of weeks here, right? And you can turn, you always have the power here, Aries. So what's coming out in the near future, please, for Aries? A few more cards, please, for Aries. Okay, I will not fight that. Thank you. Okay, so the first one that flew was the Knave of Wands in the reverse. This is that, this is someone who's very excitable, very interested in creating something new. This could be a new project, a new love affair, you know, something new and exciting and passionate. With it being in the reverse, I feel like that energy is there, but you may be saying, no, I'm not ready for this. I don't want to start anything new. I don't want to jump completely into this because I don't want to get burned like I have in the past. And it's actually quite smart, I think, if you're tempering yourself in this way, because the Knave is very excitable, very young. There could be a young person coming to you in the near future who's like, come on, let's do this, let's you know, let's live life, let's go on the roller coasters, let's go, you know, doing all the, you know, let's go skydiving, let's do some crazy fun stuff. And you might just be like, nah, I'm gonna just wait and decide. I'm gonna take a little bit more time. Maybe it's not for me, I'm not really sure. So I feel like you're not quite ready to just say yes, okay? It could also be someone who is trying to pull you off of your game in the near future too, because they're not in their right sense of self here. So just be aware that in the near future, I'm feeling like there's definitely a no that's coming from the Aries. Now this is your energy too, so because it's Wands. So just keep in mind that it may feel odd that you're saying no to this thing, because normally you would say yes, like, yes, drag racing sounds great in the, 3 a.m. That's normally what I would say, but right now I'm saying no for some reason. So just keep that in mind, is that there's some kind of oddity and a no for you in the near future that might be contrary to what you normally have had. Now we have the Queen of Swords energy. Came out in the reverse. Now this is a maternal energy, but it's also someone who is very direct and decisive with their words. Could be an older energy or a maternal energy to you. It could also be a sister, it could be that kind of feeling, someone who can help guide you. But again, they're in the reverse. This could be the energy that you take on as well, where it's withholding words. It's not being very clear. You could say no and then just not explain it, okay? It could also be someone who is around you, who is trying to get you to express yourself, and you may not trust them, may not feel comfortable expressing yourself with them. So keep that in mind too. Very interesting, Aries. Now we've also got Two of Pentacles, also in the reverse. We do want to come with a balance in the future, and there is an imbalance here. It could be financial imbalance or your health as well, or well-being. Feeling, you might have like a summer sickness, or like a summer cold or something. This might actually be just allergies, something really light like that. But what I mean is that there's, you've got some reversals here in the future, and the desire to have a balance with excitement and clear, decisive words is there, but I feel like you're withholding for some reason, Aries. And again, this is very similar to Pisces, that it could have just been in response to something not working out in the past, and you're kind of just wanting to stick to what's really important to you, which is yourself. your well-being, your health, and your money, okay? Now, I'm going to get some clarification here, Aries, just in what's going on in this present energy. What's going on for Aries in this present energy, please? Let's explain this, please. Give me some clarification on what these cards are telling us for Aries in the present, please. Okay. So we have the Star card in the reverse. This is not something that you were hoping for or wishing for. So you're in a place where you didn't think that you would be, okay? You thought that things were gonna work out in the past, or that this was gonna be a great relationship, or you would have more money than what you do right now, that your job situation would be a little bit better, that you would be enjoying life at this point, and it's not quite there. It's not quite what you were hoping for. So with it not being exactly what you were hoping for, you've pulled back and deciding, because remember, we started here, deciding on this next adventure, next way to go, okay? Now we also have 10 of Swords. Now, this is that dramatic ending. I like that it's here. I like that it's in the upright, because that means that you've accepted that there is the end of this, perhaps not one, you know, what you've been resistant to, or what has been resisting giving you what you wanted, because, you know, that's what we were just talking about. All the things that you were really hoping for haven't come to fruition. Can we end the cycle of them not coming to fruition? Can we end the cycle of what the block is, the reason why it hasn't come up? And it could just be that you feel like you're due, or that perhaps there could be some karma related to an emotional connection that didn't work out in the past. But something needs to end here in the future, and I'm feeling like this is you retreating, trying to end whatever emotional ties to not feeling like things have been, okay, sorry, it's a little convoluted here. You haven't received what you were hoping, okay? You wished for happiness, for enjoyment, for pleasure, for, you know, for fun, for lightness, for money, you know, all these wishes that haven't come true. Instead, this is where you're at, okay? Now, the power of the 10 of Swords is that you can say, this is the end of it, and I'm done suffering. I'm done not receiving what I want, and you leave it. And that's what I'm trying to get you to here, is that we just leave what hasn't served you, leave what hopes and dreams haven't been brought to fruition, just leave it and start a whole new journey. Be the fool, be naive if you need to, because all of this, like, this is awful energy. Nobody wants to hold on to 10 of Swords. That's the dramatic ending where you get stabbed so many times. Like, you've already hurt yourself by the first stab, right? Then you go 9 more. So it's the definitely not being given or received what you want. Definitely not. We see that. You're in this place. I'm hoping that you're not suffering right now. I'm hoping that you're just kind of really concentrating on other things and hoping that everything else will work out. You know, like, if we don't concentrate on our heart, eventually it will heal itself. Well, it doesn't really work that way. I'm feeling like that's probably where you're at right now, is I'm going to concentrate on my coins and the rest of the stuff will sort itself out. Well, the truth is, if you leave it, leave the grief, leave the pain, all of that stuff behind. It's like old story that you can just walk away from. I feel that then we can start transforming this near future into what's going to serve you better, because we're trying to get you to this place of starting something fresh and new, okay? Total blank slate. It's great that that 10 is here. It's a pain to be going through, and I hope that you're feeling like it's at the end, okay? Let's see what's coming up near future for Aries here. Near future for Aries. Any kind of clarification for these cards for Aries in the near future? Near future for Aries, please. Anything else? Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got Knave of Swords, another page coming up. This is in the upright. So communication coming in could be from someone on the outside, could be that, and some people talk about this being the stalker card. I personally find that when it's in the reverse, it's really about someone more lurking around more than in the upright. In the upright, it's like communication and messaging coming to you. So there's some type of messaging coming in, or maybe you'll start to open up here in the near future, little bits, right? Little clear statements of what you've been going through. If your friends are just checking in and saying, hey, what's going on? You know, what can I do for you? I've noticed that you've been kind of within. I've noticed that you've been kind of upset about some stuff, maybe not connecting. So I feel like there's a little bit of communication that's coming in the near future that will help you kind of transform all of this to get you to that next place, which is great, okay? So look for a friend and look for someone who's going to mirror you. This Two of Cups is here in the upright. Now, this can mean it's a relationship. So if there is a relationship going on where maybe in the past it wasn't good, you're in this place of pondering if it should go on, in the future, it's looking like you guys are going to talk again. Not necessarily a reconciliation, not necessarily that you're in separation now, but it just might mean that communication comes back onto the table to discuss what's really been going on, what you've been processing, or what you've been resisting processing, because that's what we were talking about here in your present. But this Two of Cups can also be a very close friend. It could be somebody who's mirroring you. That's what it is. It's, you know, connecting with somebody. They're going to pull you back out of your shell, okay? And say, look, what's been going on with you? I see that they're suffering. I see that you've been kind of in your head worried about things that are different, right? You're only worrying about your health, your well-being, and your money. What's going on, Aries? And I feel like there's somebody here in the near future who's coming out for you to help you heal, okay? And if this is not a person, this is a part of yourself that wakes up and stimulates you to get to the place of starting over, all right? Now I want to get a couple more clarification, Aries. This one's intense, for sure, with that Ten of Swords here, clarifying. But it looks like things can lighten up in the future once the communication begins. And I've noticed that the Mercury in retrograde, even though it's gone, like even though we're out of it, it was so magnified by so many other planets in retrograde that it's actually, the shadow period has lasted longer, is what I'm noticing. So a lot of people are coming back out of their caves, back out of, you know, starting to speak, but it's taking a lot longer than normal. Okay, which could be another reason why my readings are so far behind. Okay, let me see. Any kind of clarification for the present? Let's see. We've got the letter. So some type of written work you might be reading, and the travel card. Okay. Let me think. When I see these two together, this could mean that there is a contract. So you might be, again, worrying about your money. In the near future, you might be, or excuse me, in the present right now, you might be looking at contracts that take you to another place physically. So maybe you have a new work contract. There's some more money that you're, you know, these are the types of things. You're looking at very basic, let's take care of me or my near, you know, my immediate family, make sure that we are, you know, provided for. And this is just about, you know, money, and it's about work. It's that kind of stuff. You're just not thinking about passion or a relationship right now. The letter is a written word, so there might be an email that comes in that's talking about take that last minute trip this summer. That might be what stimulates all of this. the ship card is that movement card, okay? So there also might be a text or an email that comes in that stimulates this change in you. That could be the actual movement. It may not be a physical movement, it might be just a movement change of mind, okay? Change of heart space. Is there anything for the near future to clarify for Aries with this communication coming in and this mirroring? Oh, I feel like something just flipped. Sorry. Got a little funky. Okay. All right. So, well, that just flew out of my hand. I'll tell you what it was. I'm not going to go for it right now, but it was the cross card, which is a cross to bear, a burdened card. It was there and then it just flew itself out. So I'm wondering if it just doesn't want to be there after all. But this person that you're speaking with in the near future might have been the one in which there were burdens or deep, heavy connections with, okay? So if it is a coming back together, I didn't feel like there was a break necessarily. I just felt like it was a working things through in your mind internally. But you might be working through these burdens that you have been feeling around this other person, or this person might be helping you work through these burdens that you've been feeling. And you might have taken on a lot of responsibility with your family, and that could be why you're thinking about money and health only. Okay, thank you. Nice clear one. Commitment, okay? So this is it. It's either a new commitment with this person coming up in the future. It could be a new commitment to yourself, but there's definitely some conversation that's happening with someone who can mirror you, who can help you look at what's really going on. And I'm feeling like it's a new commitment that hopefully will feel really good here in the future. So while you might be feeling right now like, you know, there's a lot of burdens, there's a lot of pain, in the near future, it's looking like when there's a little bit of opening, if you let this person in to help you open up, I feel like there's a way in which you can process through what's been going on and get you to a better place so that you can recommit to yourself, to this person, to your story, to a new story, okay? Because this is what's really going on for you, is that you have a promise to start something brand new. So Aries, despite it being really intense right now, this is actually quite a beautiful reading because of the way it clarifies in the future, all right? Thank you so much. I'm sending you guys all my love, and I'll see you next time.